Hello, everybody, and welcome to Freedom Frequency Day 2. It's always a little bit trippy whenever you hit the live button because there's a delay, but I think it goes live right away. So welcome to Day 2 of Freedom Frequency. We are so happy to have you back. Hopefully you were able to join us yesterday for Day 1, but if you weren't, don't worry. The replay is available both in this Facebook group and over on YouTube, and it's going to be up until next Friday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. So if you missed that, you can go back and rewatch it. For now, you are in for a real treat. You're going to have about 90 minutes of Arash lighting you on fire, giving you everything you need to create freedom in your life. So get out a pen and a piece of paper, get ready to take some notes, set aside all distractions, put your phone on silent, close out all your other browsers, and really give yourself this time to invest in yourself and get what you came here for out of it. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand this over to the man of the hour, Mr. Arash Vossoughi. Arash, it's all yours.
All right, thanks, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited and ready for today.
I know I'm very excited about today. I have a power pack lesson, and I'm really excited to share. You know, I always say, Mike, I talk about this all the time, but I always share, like, this isn't my information. This is information that I put into specialized knowledge. Yeah. I remember my mentor, I was talking to him, a couple years ago, and he said, I don't know what you've done, but you put this in such specialized knowledge. And I did because I was a great student. And I didn't know I was putting in specialized knowledge, but every time I would talk to Bob, I would write down if we were on a call. And that's how I put this into specialized knowledge, into my specialized knowledge that really connected that changed my life. So I'm excited to share it with you. All right, well, let me share my slides and then we can get going. Now, yesterday I told you the law of your being is perpetual increase. That means big things are coming your way. Everything that has happened in my life, in your life, in everybody's life has been absolutely essential to prepare you for what you're going to do going forward. Now, I want you to hear what I said, going forward. See, where people make a mistake is they say, no, I know what I want, and they freeze. They don't do anything. See, if we're going to make a change, we have to take action. And I want you to understand that every failure, every setback, every time you didn't do something, every time you did do something has prepared you for something very big. I'm talking about enormous, but that's going to be now up to what you do with it. See, we have to take the action, and we have to take inspired action. Now, the universe desires you to have everything you want to have. I want you to get this. The universe is here to serve you. It is here to give you what you want. You have to put out the request. You've got to work in harmony with the laws, and you have to develop yourself, and you get out of the way, but you do it in a relaxed state. You expect it to come. See, we've got to expect it to come. I want you to think about you. What are you expecting? Like today, what did you expect? Not from this course, not from what I'm saying, but from you. Did you wake up with an expectation? See, we want to have a significant expectation of ourselves. Because we don't get what we want, we get what we expect. And our expectation controls our behaviors. Now, what is that one thing that really sparked you yesterday that you really want more than anything else? I want you to get this. This is the starting point. The starting point is not knowing where you are. We already know where we are. That's easy. All you have to do is look at your results. What I want you to do is think about what is that one thing that I really want? And you put all your energy in it. You put all your power into it. And this is the key. If you don't know what you want, it's just information. If you don't act on what you want, it's just information. Now, let's look at this. Everything is a mental equivalent of you. So I want you to look at your results. And I want you to take a good look at them. And whatever came to your mind, maybe it was relationships, maybe it was your income, maybe it was your health, maybe it was your confidence. See, what I want you to understand that what you are getting in your results, you are attracting it right now. You're in harmony with it. And it's coming to you because you've earned it. And if you don't like it, you have to change it. Now, if I would have heard that years ago, that would have been a punch in the stomach to me because my results were not very good. And I want you to really look at them and ask yourself, do I like these results? If the answer is yes, keep doing what you're doing, but just do it with a greater standard. If the answer is no, just understand, take responsibility that you earned it. And that's what you're in harmony with. That's what you have been in harmony with, but you have an opportunity to change it. How do you change it? You've got to create the mental image of what you want. See, when you get the mental image of the person you want to become, and you start acting like that person, and that's how you become that person. It's through the acting as that person. I'm not talking about faking it. I'm talking about you create a clear image in your mind, because if we're not clear, we're giving out vague requests. Vague requests create vague results. You become that person and you act like it every day. So you take the actions of that person. You build it in your mind in the morning, you build it throughout the day, and you act like that person. And then what's going to happen is you're going to attract everything that's in harmony with that person. It's actually very simple. Most people complicate it, but we've got to accept that. And that's our duty. It's our responsibility. It's up to us to build that mental equivalent of what we want. And when you do it, I promise you, you're going to see a dramatic change. The great poet and philosopher Goethe used to say, before you can do something, you must be something. See, you've got to get this. This is at the heart that we have to understand. We have to build the mental picture of the person you would like to become. And then with your eyes open, you act like that person. You behave like that person. Until you do, it's delusion. Until you do, you're just gathering more information. And you're operating with the same attitude that you've always operated with. See, your mind is either in an orderly state or a chaotic state. If it's a chaotic state, it's starting, stopping, no commitment, acting like a victim. Why is this happening to me? I don't understand why my results are not changing. The results are always going to be a reflection of you. Always. Not sometimes, always. Now, we have to really understand your mind is a garden, and we want to plant seeds of abundance, seeds of freedom, seeds of giving. We want to plant seeds of what we want over and over and over again. You plant the seeds, you're going to grow what you're growing in your garden. Now, most people are saying, I want freedom, yet the whole day they're coming from a place of lack. Well, they are digging up their seeds and planting a stronger seed, which is lack. See, I want you to think about how you're feeling. What is feeling? It's the language of the subconscious mind. What did we say yesterday? You have to understand all three parts of your mind. Your conscious mind, that's your thinking mind. Your subconscious mind, that's your emotional mind. And your body is a physical manifestation of the non-physical you. What you're thinking, feeling creates the results. That's attitude. Now, I want you to really understand this. The language of your subconscious is feeling. So I want to make sure that I'm giving thoughts that are in harmony, that are in the mental equivalent of what I want. When I do that, my feeling is going to change, my vibration is going to change, and I'm going to create what I want. Now, I doubled up on this in a different way. Imagine if you accepted the idea that the universe has my back. It has given me everything I want. Put your trust and your faith into the universe, not into the outside circumstances. Too many people are putting their trust in the outside, and they're not understanding the power they have access to. We want to understand that the universe is here to serve us. But we've got to understand and create that relationship with the universe. We've got to trust it and understand to do our job. Our job is thinking. Now, when I'm talking about thinking, we've got to understand that our thoughts travel faster than the speed of light. And when you're thinking, you're putting out an energy charge towards what you want that penetrates all time and space. Well, guess where else it penetrates? That thought penetrates the universe. The universe only knows what you give it through your thinking. So this is where today we're going to talk about discipline. But I want you to start off right now and make a firm decision that you're going to become one with what you desire. You're going to build your wants so significantly and become one with it. When you're one with it, you're not letting the outside dictate it. You only accept what it is you want, and you live and you behave like that person. Now, remember this. Your wants start in your subconscious mind. I want you to really get this. See, most people I coach over and over again, they go, can you tell me about the want again? I want you to really understand this today. I want you to pay close attention. Your want starts in your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind communicates it. That's why you're on this call. That's why right now you're with us. You say, I want to create freedom. I want that freedom. And you accept it with your imagination. You accept it, and then you build the mental image of you being free. See yourself with amazing behavior. See yourself with the power of 5 that you've mastered. See yourself an hour after you have already achieved your desire of freedom. What does freedom mean to you? To me, it means doing what you want with a peace of mind, whenever you want, as often as you want, with whomever you want, and that's freedom. And I will tell you, it's going to take a significant amount of thinking to create it. I didn't say it was hard. It's not hard work. In the beginning, everything can seem difficult. In the middle, it's so messy. In the end, it's beautiful. See, we want to understand, that was a quote by Robin Sharma, and I loved it. Years ago, I was like, that's exactly how I feel. I'm in a chaotic vibration. Well, really what I was saying is, I'm not in harmony with what I want. My conscious mind, I want freedom. My subconscious is focusing on the poor results. I had to change it. So I had to master myself. That's the deal. Now, once we get that want, we want to nourish it now. We talked about planting your seeds in your garden. That's what it is before it's going to sprout, before you're going to get your harvest. What do you really want? And we want to get that want so locked in. And that want has to be a significant want. It cannot be a weak want. If it's a weak want, it's never going to turn into a desire. You have to want it so badly. I'll tell you a story. There's a story about Socrates that a gentleman went to his lake house where he was. And he said, I really want to be a great philosopher like you. So Socrates takes him out to his lake, right in the back of his house. And he says, kneel down. So the gentleman kneels down, and Socrates grabs him by the neck, and he puts him underwater, but he holds him there. He doesn't just put him there. He holds him there. And the guy is kicking, and you could hear his feet kicking. And then what happens? He finally lets him up. And Socrates says, what were you thinking about? He said, all I was thinking about was oxygen. I just wanted to breathe. And he said, if you want to be a great philosopher, you have to want it just as badly as you want to breathe. Well, that's what we have to do with our wants. You have to build it, and you have to want it just as badly as you want to breathe. Your want, that's why I said you focus on one thing that you significantly want at a time. See, if you're focused on multiple things, what's happening is your conscious mind can only hold one idea at a time. So you're creating mixed messages of where your focus is. So then when we want it so badly, we turn it back over to our subconscious, and through the repetition, and you may have to do this for 90 days. You may have to do it for 2 years. Depends how your programming is. But I will tell you, the time's going to pass anyway. It is worth the price that it demands. I promise you this. If you're setting the right type of goal that is worthy of you, it is worth it, because you're going to achieve a lot of goals on the way. Now, that want will then turn into a desire, and that desire is going to alter your vibration. Your vibration, it's not just going to dictate what you attract. It's going to dictate what are those actions. How many of you are sitting there right now asking yourself, I don't know what actions to take. I don't know what actions. Well, it hasn't been built into a desire. Once it's a desire, you're going to know what actions. You do the actions you can, but your spirit always knows. Remember yesterday I said, to get to your soul, you go inward. You don't go outside, you go inward. And when you go inward, your spirit knows what to give you, what actions to take, where to go. The universe is guiding you. It is serving you. Now, this is where you are. And this is how you create freedom. You've got to understand this. Every line is a frequency. And we have to understand energy. Everything is energy. Energy attracts like energy. And right now, this is where you are, and that's where you want to go on a much higher frequency. Now, there is a brick wall, which is your paradigm. Now, I want you to think about your paradigm. Think about that brick wall that is in front of you. And the people who don't understand the mind and don't understand how the paradigm operates, it's constantly slamming into the paradigm. And what happens is until you make a decision that I'm going to change my income, I'm going to change my health, and it's got to be a definite decision. You're boxed in. See, to make a change, you can't just say, I'm going to change something. I'm going to change my income and not take action. That's coming from the old paradigm. You're boxed in. You have to make a definite, irrevocable, committed decision. That is a decision that is so strong, I don't know how I'm going to do it. This is where I'm going. I am done. I am inspirationally dissatisfied. And I'll be honest with you right now, I hope all of you are inspirationally dissatisfied. I live my life inspirationally dissatisfied because I know I can get better. I didn't say I live my life feeling bad. I'm always thinking about how I can get better, how I can get better. I'm so grateful for what I have and what I've created, but I'm not satisfied. See, we want to understand that paradigm right now. Think about what you're thinking when I'm talking right now. What is that thought? Oh, it could be, oh, you don't know my situation. Well, I promise you, you didn't know my situation. It works for every single person. When we make a decision, then we're going to create what we want. Now, understand your paradigm is controlling your ability to earn money. It's controlling logic. Let's look at logic for a second. It's saying, oh, don't set too big goals. Be grateful for what you have. You know, that is crap. That is total crap. Be grateful, yes, but never be satisfied. Constantly look at how you can get better. And that's how you're going to operate with a world-class mindset. World-class is what I want you to become. I want you to release victimhood from your life. Every time I was letting the outside control me, I was the biggest victim. I acted like I had no say in it. I'm the architect of my life. Nobody else is. I'm designing my life. Nobody else is. Then we look at your effectiveness. Well, as you become more effective and all you're doing is focusing on how I can, you're going to change every aspect of your life. This is called awareness. When we make a paradigm shift, we go to a different awareness. And awareness is something you never lose. You never lose awareness. And if you've gone up and down, you never gained the awareness. You were using your will. And your imagination is much more powerful than the will. I want you to lock that in. Now, as you open the space, now you're opening the space for the good you desire. Now watch what starts showing up for you. Now, this is a great question. Do you know how to build a picture of what you want? Do you really know how to build a picture? You build a picture by focusing on it. You write it down in the present tense, just like we had you do with your philosophy on money. But I want you to do it in a relaxed state. When you're relaxed, you're channeling in all the information. That's how you access all the power that there ever was and ever is in the universe. You put on some real classical music and you write it out first, because then you're neutralizing your mind and you get so locked in on what you want. But I don't want it to just be a couple sentences. I want your big want to mean something to you. Put some time into it. Make it your craft. Make it your piece of art. Make it your masterpiece. See, that's what I want you to do. And then what we have to do, like Earl Nightingale said, is we think about what we want all day long. We become what we think about. What did I say? You create the mental picture of what you want. You think about that person all day long, then you behave like that person. That's the deal. Now, a lot of people, They're thinking about it, but they're not behaving. You know why? They're operating with a bad image. They don't have a correct image of themselves. That's why you're not taking action. And I'm talking to you right now, the person who's sitting there who just studies this over and over again, but is not stepping out and acting. That's your image. That's because you've never made a decision. Now, you may say, Arash, I made the decision. No, you didn't. If you did not act, you did not make a decision. That's called delusion. That is delusion. And we want to not do that. Now, look at this. We are only limited by weakness of attention and poverty of imagination. What does weakness of attention mean? We're not focusing on what we want all day long. We have to get so crystal clear about our want, and we have to be so monomaniacally focused on it, so locked in on it all day long. That is what we get to do. In poverty of our imagination, your mind is a muscle. If you're going to the gym and you want to get in shape, you go and you could hire a trainer, you could do it on your own, but you go build your muscle and it grows and it grows. Your endurance grows. Well, your imagination will take you, your mind will take you wherever you give your imagination. Most people are spending their day imagining what they don't want all day long. They're saying, what if down, not what if up. What I mean by what if down, what if this happens? Not what if I step into my power? What if I understand my spiritual DNA is absolutely perfect? What if I let that other person out? You've got to get to know that other person inside of you that's dying to come out. See, we are only limited by not developing our will. Yesterday, I talked about the higher faculties. Will is one of your higher faculties. Your will is the ability to hold one idea on the screen of your mind. That one idea is what you really want. That's how you're going to stop limiting yourself. And then you operate with your imagination. You open up your imagination, and your imagination will take you wherever you allow it to go. And this we have to master. This is a quote from Neville. And I'm telling you, this is the only thing. And when you're getting distracted, you're limited. When you're focused and locked in, that's the greatest habit. That's the greatest working habit you can create is focus. Focus is the development of the will. Now, what I want you to do, I just put what I would write down if this was somebody's goal. Now, you could change the number. Now, if I am going to develop a strong attention because it's our intention, our goal with attention, that's the law of life. Whatever we put attention on, we attract. See, here is one I could give you that you could lock in on. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm earning $1 million or more every year, and I love it. That truth is clearly imaged in my conscious mind. It is effectively planted through constant spaced repetition in my subconscious mind. Therefore, it is presently moving into physical form. Now, let's break this down. Let's look at the Power 5 from yesterday. Why would I say this over and over again? Why would I write it out? Because we're giving our subconscious direction. See, when you say, I am so happy and grateful, right there, you activated abundance. Why? Because gratitude is the vibration of abundance. So you're already thanking the universe ahead of time for what it's given you. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am earning $1 million or more a year. I'm putting the image of $1 million. What did I say? Get the mental image of what you want. So now I'm thinking about behaving like that person all day long. That truth is clearly imaged. I said, this is a truth. It's done. I've accepted it. When I've accepted any idea, I plant it in my subconscious. I say, it is mine. That truth is clearly imaged in my conscious mind. It is effectively planted through constant spaced repetition. What does that mean? That means I'm giving myself, my conscious self, a command to consciously use repetition to keep planting that idea into my subconscious mind. Therefore, it is presently moving into physical form. Now I'm going to see it. See, you may have to do this 10,000 times, but if you're earning 100,000 a year, would that be worth it to you? Would that be worth it? To me, it was very, very much worth it. This is auto-suggestion. It's giving yourself a suggestion from yourself to yourself. This is non-negotiable, the best thing I ever did in terms of the principle that I applied. I did this when I was earning 10,000 a month to now with what I'm earning. Now, if I can do it, you could do it. See, we've got to decide what is the price what is the price we have to pay? It's discipline. It's getting out of our comfort zone. It's creating amazing relationships. I'm talking about amazing relationships with people so much more aware than you. See, I don't know how old you are. I don't know exactly what you want. If I was coaching you right now, I would ask you, what do you really want? And by your answer, I would know if that's really what you wanted. I would know if you're wishing or hoping by how you tell me. See, if I know that, what do you think the universe knows? And the universe is impersonal. It's going to give you what you give it. So vague requests, vague results. Now, this idea, this law that Carnegie gave us, any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate physical form available. What is this law? This is what I just said. It's the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Any idea that I focus on with my will is bringing this law into form. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy says energy is constantly going into form, out of form, into form, out of form. So the suggestions that we're accepting consciously, and you remember yesterday we talked about accepting or rejecting? This is why you've got to be very careful on disciplining your mind. Because if you're accepting what you don't want, you're going to bring this to you by the same law, or if you're accepting it. So I want you to only accept suggestions that are in harmony with what you want. As you do that, now you're in harmony on all three parts of you. So you're in an orderly state. Your mind is in order. So your vibration is in order, and your vibration is going to give you the results you want. Now we've got to really master this. Get emotionally involved with what you want through auto-suggestion and imagination. Okay, so how do we do that? That's what I gave you yesterday. How many of you put a timer on your phone or on your watch every 3 hours that it goes off? Now, if you didn't do it, you missed out on that yesterday. You missed out big time. See, I want you to pick up the ideas and be so coachable. The difference between winning and losing is your level of coachability. Get emotionally involved every 3 hours for 3 minutes. I don't know, maybe it's 5-6 times a day. And it's going to go off. And there's going to be times it annoys the crap out of you. You're like in a meeting, but don't worry about that. It creates an image in your mind. You do this, the repetition of doing it 7 days a week, over 90 days, over 6 months, it's going to create a fact in your subconscious mind. Every 3 hours, get emotionally involved. If you're not emotionally involved, what did we say? The language of the subconscious is feeling. When you're not emotionally involved, it's not in your subconscious. It's only in your conscious mind. This is why it's essential to be consciously aware of your feeling. That's what vibration is. And as you do, you're going to get there. Now, nothing is small about you. I don't care what the results say. I don't care what the past says. Nothing is small about you. So make a commitment, no more thinking small. I want every decision to be about expansion. Is this expanding me or contracting me? Everything you do, I want it to expand you. I don't know how it's going to happen. Boom, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You know how many people come and say, oh, I've been to seminars in the past, they don't work. That is not true. It's not that they don't work. What did you do? What did you implement? Are you charging what you're capable of, or are you playing it small? Are you charging what the marketplace is telling you, or are you deciding that I'm going to practice my craft 10,000 times and I'm going to be so damn valuable that the marketplace is going to be paying me 10 times what I'm doing? Now ask yourself that. Are you limiting what you're allowing? Are you accepting a small idea of yourself? See, there is another version of you that is dying to come out. It is dying. I'm telling you this. When I said the essence of you is pure perfection and everything that has prepared you, this other self, your future self right now is dying to come out. It is dying to come out. And if you do it, it's going to be magical. It is going to be absolutely magical. And when you do it, everything will change. Here's an idea for you. Set a recording, record a message to your future self 90 days from now, and tell your future self what you've created. What you're doing right now, your future self is going to be so grateful for. And be exact. It feels so great that I've created a massive quantum leap. I have really multiplied my effectiveness. My income has changed to X, whatever that is. Be exact on what you want. And you watch what will start happening. But that sounds too woo-woo, doesn't it? Try it. You don't know until you try it. What sounds woo-woo to me is people who keep not thinking. That's the problem. They're not thinking. They keep playing small. I want you to draw the best and biggest version out of you. You are pure genius. There is unlimited potential inside of you. So what ideas are you accepting of yourself? I want you to really think about this. What ideas am I really thinking about myself? What do I think is possible? What am I allowing in my environment? And I want you to look at your environment. Your environment is a reflection of you. So what if you dream bigger? What if you allowed those impossibility to become possible? Magic will start happening for you. But this is the thing that you have to guard against. Your paradigms create the lens of how you are seeing the world and yourself. So don't look from your perception. Look on building the image of what you choose. And then you change your perception. You decide first. And when you do that, you're going to start understanding you. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you don't gain awareness of who you are, you will never be free. I'm going to say that again. I want you to really lock in on this. If you don't start getting to know who you really are, you will never be free. If you keep letting other people's perception of you, let your past perception of you decide who you are, you're never going to be free. That means it's going to take a significant amount of courage to keep walking into that new self. We have to build the new personality. What does that mean? That means get a stronger image of ourselves. Well, we create it. We originate everything in our life. We're originating. We're creators. So it doesn't happen to us. It happens from us. We put it out, and the law of cause and effect gives us a boomerang. This is why we have to understand thought energy. You are in control of accepting or rejecting. You are in control of building an enormous life for yourself. And you're going to spend the time anyway. You might as well create an amazing life. You're spending the time. Don't accept what's mediocre for what's good. Don't accept for what's good for what's great. Don't accept for what's great that can be magical. Let's see, what do you really want? That's up to you. This is building a bigger idea of yourself. And we've got to put the time every day to build that bigger idea. Well, how do we do it? We write out our new image every day. I am so happy and grateful now that I have acted like the person I want to become. Every day, I'm getting 1% better. You're constantly building the image because you're thinking. This is why we have to understand the amount of growth that I make is going to create my results. It's going to create my image. So we want to constantly build that image. You build it by writing it out. You build it by getting relaxed and seeing yourself behaving the way you want to behave, seeing yourself living with a significant standard, seeing yourself with a great deal of security, seeing yourself so comfortable with yourself, seeing yourself as an absolute master in your industry where you become the standard in your industry. Now, what about that idea? That is a hell of an idea. That is a world-class idea. To become the standard in your industry. Now, create a better version of yourself. How do you do that? You get on the frequency. What is energy? Everything you're thinking about is sending out an energy. So if you have thoughts of growth, you're sending out an amazing energy into the universe that's penetrating all time and space. See, we've got to watch out what is the energy we're putting on, because right away when I think something, I go to that frequency. Now I drop if it's not part of my program. So my job is to create that image and live there. How do I do that? You get the mental image through the repetition over and over that you get emotionally involved with is going to get you there. But it's not just there when you think. You become that person all day long. And then what's going to happen, all of a sudden, that's going to be where you're comfortable being. Then you're going to easily accept and reject ideas. You're going to say, no, gosh, that I used to be around an environment full of victims. Well, I was a victim. And you may have to get rid of people in your environment. You really may have to detox. See, you've got to ask yourself, what type of life do I want? And where do I have to go? Now, I want you to understand this. Your job is to draw this person out of you. It knows how to do 10 times better. See, it like for me, I could tell you my life. When I was out of college, I was earning $24,000 a year. And I was working more than I work now. I wasn't working with passion. I wasn't working with awareness. I was working just to get a paycheck. Now, there was another person inside of me that knew how to earn millions like I'm earning now, that knew how to surround myself with amazing people, that knew how to surround myself with big thinkers. Well, my job was to develop me and go inside and draw that person out. That starts with that fire. That starts with that want in your subconscious. Like I had this want that I wanted to create better for myself. I didn't have a family at this point. This was about me. And at that point, I committed to doing it. Now, I didn't think it was going to happen. Like the beautiful thing is, if you just put the request out, you will start bettering your belief. See, we have to reevaluate. I remember Bob told me this. He said, belief, we have to constantly reevaluate our beliefs about ourselves. Are they accurate? He learned that from his mentor. And I'm sure his mentor learned it from one of his mentors. See, what we have to understand is get to know you. Is the belief about you real? I could tell you that if you are not right now where you want to be, then your belief isn't accurate. You can grow, you can change it. But in order to do that, we have to master this. See, your spiritual DNA is absolutely perfect. I told you this yesterday. At the core of you is perfection. Where is the core? Every cell in my body is perfection. See, we've got to accept that when we're developing ourselves. It requires no modification or improvement. It is all knowing. What does that mean? That means I have access to everything that ever was, from all the great leaders down, all the great thought leaders, everything that I have access to, they had access to. And I have access to everything that I haven't even discovered yet. And things that have never been created, we still have access to. It's all knowing. It's all powerful. That means I have access to all the power. What is power? That's energy. When somebody says, oh, God, I love their energy. They're so passionate. I wish I could have that energy. You have access to it. That's called desire. Desire is releasing the energy. The only reason you're not tapping into it is because you're not thinking about what you really want. See, right now, a lot of people rush through Friday. Oh, I can't wait. It's Friday. Listen, every day's got to be Friday. Every day is a gift. We woke up today. That is a gift. See, we don't want to live our life saying, oh, God, it's Friday. Work till Friday. No, make every day your Friday. It's ever present. It's everywhere in the universe. It's wherever you are. You have access to this. And it is the real you. Now, here's the point I want you to get. I want you to get this because I went a little quick on the slide. So give me 1 second. Let me bring it back. It is the real you. Now, are you truly who you pretend to be? I want you to really ask yourself, are you comfortable with yourself? Are you absolutely comfortable with you? Are you secure with yourself? Are you in harmony with what you want? Have you built that mental equivalent? Are you operating with courage? You have access to all the power in the world, all the knowledge in the world. We've got to start stepping into the real you. The real you is remarkable potential. Now, in order to do this, we've got to build the image of ourselves. Our image, our self-image, our identity, they're the same thing, is a direct reflection of the picture I see of myself. And I want you to go back and look at your results. That's your image. You can never outperform it. Our image is our attitude of ourselves. So when we're building a bigger idea of ourselves. We're building a bigger image. The only question I have to ask myself is, who do I need to become? I want you to write down. I want you to think about what you really want. And I want you to ask yourself, who do I really need to become? I want you to think about world-class freedom and write the traits that you don't have right now, that you haven't made part of your identity. And maybe there's a list of your top 10. And you don't focus on all 10. You focus on number 1 first. I want you only focusing on number 1. And when you get number 1 and you rewire it in your mind where it becomes automatically part of your paradigm, you go to number 2. One identity-based behavior will create a massive quantum leap. Don't try to do too many things. Less is more. Master that. Less is more. Then we have to always work at becoming the best version of ourselves. It requires you to constantly edit your belief and upgrade your image. Now, I want you to see this. Freedom is not money. Freedom is you. You are freedom. When you are whole, you're going to create freedom in your life. See, you have to be free before you're going to allow freedom. If you're shackled in your own prison and committed to suffering and letting the outside, I'm paycheck to paycheck, that has nothing to do with it. I created freedom the minute I accepted that idea. That's all I thought about. Now, my results didn't show it, but I kept thinking about what I wanted. I fell in love. I got in the spirit of that idea and I fell in love with it. Well, what was I doing? I was upgrading my image every day. I just kept thinking to myself, I know you've got to stretch. So I started stretching. I started stretching significantly. You know, I will tell you, I have a course that I was doing yesterday called Millionaire Mastermind. And I was telling the group, I said, I live most of my days uncomfortable. Like most of my days are uncomfortable. That's became the new comfort zone. I get this little feeling in my heart. I'm like, oh, here we go. You got to step in and act. And I act right away. One little action creates a big action. It's the little acts that people are not doing, that they're not upgrading their image. It's not this big idea that you have to act on. It's the little ideas, the little disciplines, the little attitudes that create enormous results. Now, let's look at your identity and ask yourself this. I'm giving you characteristics of a 7-figure identity, a 7-figure image. Let's look at this. What is your attitude towards yourself? A 7-figure identity is somebody who has a great image of themselves. They have a great attitude. They go from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. They are not letting the outside control whether they're worthy or deserving. Now, are you doing that? They have definiteness of goal. They're not setting a million goals. They have one goal, and it's the most important goal, and they spend all their energy on that goal. They spend all their time on that goal. They are living with the impression of increase. Okay, I want you to highlight this. This right here is how you create freedom. You live by every day. You make it a habit that you're leaving everybody you're in contact with better off than you found them. So you take off your focus off of yourself. You put it on others. And when you do that, you're initiating abundance. Now your focus, what did we say? Focus is what we have to develop so we're not weakened by lack of attention. See, the only thing we're limited by is weakness of attention. Well, how do we do that? Focus. We got to lock in. Ask yourself, am I locked in? Your focus, I told you this is the greatest work habit anybody can develop, is they lock into an idea and they stay on it over and over and over until that idea comes into form. See, this is what 7-figure images. This is what they do. They have a great relationship with money. They are comfortable with money. They ask for what their product or service is. They don't cheapen it. See, you have to have a great relationship with money. Love yourself and money will come. Love money. Talk good about money. See it in your life. And it will eventually start coming in avalanches of abundance. They act on ideas right away. That means when they have an idea, when they learn something, they act on it right away. They don't wait. You've got to act on it right away. You've got to do it now, your brain tattoo. They have a sense of urgency. They're operating with this rocket fuel on their back, and they release the desire. That's what sense of urgency is. It's a release of desire. You are releasing your desire and you're launching it. You're launching it like a rocket, but you do it in a calm, relaxed, confident manner because you're so comfortable with yourself. And then you're facing your insecurities. See, your insecurities are not the problem. People who are earning 7, 8 figures, it's not that they don't have insecurities. The insecurities they know is their gift, so they sprint towards them. They say, I get to work on this, instead of digging their head in the sand, pretending it's not there. Well, when you pretend, you suppress it more. That suppression can turn into depression. So we want to express it. We want to say, oh, I get to become this. I get to do this. And then our self-talk, winning is a language. You only talk exactly like the person you want to become. Right now, you talk exactly like that person. What does that person talk like? They do not talk in lack and limitation. They do not talk in a poverty consciousness. That all they talk about is what they want. They talk about ideas. They are masterminding with other people who are on the same trajectory as them. And they're just thinking like, what do you think about my idea? What would you do? Tell me how you really created a massive shift for you. I want to learn from you. That's the type of conversations they're having. They're having conversations with themselves. I want to know, what am I missing? What can I pick up on? Where is my acres of diamonds? These are the conversation in their self-talk. And they're using their superpowers. Your superpowers are your higher faculties. That's your will, your perception, your memory, your imagination, your intuition. You know, and I'm telling you, your memory is so powerful. Every part of you is so dang powerful if you start using your 6 superpowers. They're all just as important. Your reasoning is your ability to think. See, that's what activates your intellect. Let's go over this again. Yesterday we talked about it. You're a spiritual being living in a physical body, and you're gifted with an intellect. Your intellect dictates your emotional state. Your emotional state is your subconscious, which dictates the vibration you're in, which dictates what you attract. So you get to, when you start using your higher faculties, that'll take you where you want to go. Now, a permanent paradigm shift is an identity shift. Improvements are only temporary until they become part of who you are. You'll know when you've made a paradigm shift where you don't even have to think and your thinking automatically change. Automatically, your actions automatically change. What you're attracting in your environment automatically change. You'll know that it's been a part of you. When it hasn't been a part of you, then you keep rewiring it until it does. And as you do that, you're going to change your life one identity at a time. One identity-based behavior at a time. Now, I want you to look at this. When we're developing our results, we have to have a significant amount of swagger. We've got to put some energy into ourselves. We've got to start acting that person. So let's start understanding, all of you have access to it. You have swagger. You got to let it out. You got to stop being so rigid with yourself. Come on, let's have some fun. When you have fun, you are operating at such a higher level. Let's have some damn fun creating the life we want. See, when we have swagger, we have this power in us, and that power comes in a thought. Now that thought is put out into the universe. This is why when we're operating with our faculties and we're thinking, I'm only creating a life of freedom, that everything that's not freedom, I do not accept. That is stopping that thought from penetrating time and space. And then you operate with how exactly what you want. I'm so grateful that I have so much abundance. I have so much impact in my life. I have so much fulfillment. I am living free. Every part of me is world-class. I have really let that world-class me come out. Well, that's going to create a feeling. That feeling is going to create conscious awareness of your vibration. So right there, if you're not feeling good, you say, no, I accepted the wrong idea. I'm going to start over. But then you get into the feel and you say, my spiritual DNA is absolutely perfect. I am absolute world class. That's just, I emanate it from every cell of my being. I am a great father. I am a great mother. I am a great friend. I am a great business owner. I am great to myself. Well, that's the feelings you put out. It's going to dictate your vibration. Your vibration is going to dictate what actions to take, which is going to get you the results. This is life. Everything comes through attitude. This is why I told you yesterday. It is the most important thing that you can develop is a positive mental attitude. It impacts every area of your life. It's your thoughts, your feelings, your actions create your results. So right now, let's go look at our results closely. What are my results? Now let's look at the trigger method. It's the attitude. It is the attitude. How many of you live like I used to live, where I was letting the outside control me? I was just giving away all my power to the outside. I was like, here you go. Let me give this to you so I could sabotage myself more. See, we get to use our mind, and we have to develop it. We have to get the right mentors. We have to get the right masterminds. We have to have the right accountability. And one idea will change your life. There's been so many one ideas that have changed my life. This has been the biggest shift that changed my programming, that changed my life to live freedom. This is how I did it. I went in and did the work inside. You've got to do the work inside. I had to go purify my heart. I had to release the weight. I had to release the resentment I had for myself. I had to go work on the insecurities. And then all of a sudden, I created the real me. And I created that other person that was dying to come out. I stopped letting other people's perception of me change my results. And as you do that, you're using that power only towards abundance. Now, how many are using attitude against them? They're operating from a negative mental attitude. They say, oh no, I'm bubbly. Anytime you're thinking, focus, speaking on lack and limitation, you're inviting scarcity into your life. We have to make abundance the dominating state that we come from. That's all I see, feel, and touch. That is freedom. And when you do that over a 60, 90, 120-day period, you are not going to see scarcity anymore in your life. You are not going to see it. Abundance is your birthright. Quantum leaps are your birthright. Freedom is your birthright. If one person can create freedom, anybody can. See, we have to understand energy. We have to go to that fifth dimension where everything starts in pure nothingness, and we use our intellect. We go develop the idea of freedom, and we accept it, and we allow it by our attitude to fill our body, fill every cell of our being, that it emanates with pure dominating potential, and we're putting that potential to what we want. As we do that, that's what we're going to get. Now look at this. This is a great exercise I'm going to give you. You have an attitude towards everything. Now, I want you to look at your money, and I'd like you to put a score of 1 to 10. 10 is I have a great relationship with money. I have money flowing in my life. 1 is I have a bad relationship. I want you to put a 10 next to your attitude on money. What is that? Now, I want to look from 1 to 10 and put a grade on your attitude towards yourself. Do you love yourself? Do you not like yourself? Well, even if you don't, we can change that, because we can change at any moment. But I want you to put that number. Selling. If you are in business and you want to create freedom for yourself, your ability to sell yourself on ideas is critical. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're going to work for somebody the rest of your life. Your ability to sell yourself and accept your goals, sell an idea, product, or service, it has to be at a 10. I want you to put your attitude towards selling, 1 to 10. Now, action, your ability to act on an idea right away. What is that, 1 to 10? I want you to look at your attitude towards your health. Do you value your health? Are you in the best shape? Are you in average shape? Put it down. Accepting new ideas, where you can accept it within a millisecond and get into action right away. This is who I am. From this point on, I am aware that my spiritual DNA is perfect. Did you accept that? Did you accept the idea that I'm infinite? Did you accept the idea that I can create freedom? If Arash creates freedom, I can do it. 1 to 10. And then discipline. Your ability to accept and reject ideas that are not in harmony with you. Your activities. I want you to grade that 1 to 10. Now, I want you to sit back and I want you to look at the people who did not do that exercise that I just gave. Well, what else are you not doing? What else are you not doing? I guarantee there's people sitting there just listening, but not doing it because they're afraid to go in. You've got to do the work. Like, I can help you significantly, but you've got to do the work. Now, I want you to look at your results around money. Did what you write and your results match? Now, I want you to look at yourself, your attitude towards yourself, what you wrote and your results. Do they match? The reason I'm asking you to look at these and see if they match, a lot of people are lying to themselves. They tell themselves something that is not what the result says. The result always is a compass of our life. They always tell us the truth. And we earn our results. Now, I want you to use this because your attitude is impacting all areas of your life. And I want us to really get this. Now, a limitless attitude is the essence of who you are. It's for growth and expansion. See, we've got to stop accepting ideas that limits us. That's the only thing you accept is, does it expand me? If you're operating with limiting beliefs, we've got to work on your standard. That's a standard problem. We say, I am not accepting this from this point on. And we've got to create what your core mission is. What are you going after? Your mission has to be greater than your insecurities. I want you to get this. Your mission has to be greater than your insecurities. See, this idea has used me when I didn't even know it was going to use me. I didn't even know what was possible. You don't know when your life is about to change. You've got to lean in and only operate with a limitless attitude. Now, if you are like I was, and I'm talking to the person right now who has been wanting to create freedom but hasn't done it. They've studied this for a while, but the results are not happening. And you're operating with a lot of frustration. I'm going to tell you why. You have this power and you have a choice. And you may be studying this, but you're not transferring the information to your subjective mind. I can promise you that. And what happens is you have a goal, you may be impressing it, but you're not seeing the results over a period of time. Well, you're definitely not acting as that person. I can promise you this. And what you're doing is you're operating from the same old program that's very outdated. And you know it's outdated because you wanted a bigger result. And what happens is you're operating the rest of your day when you're not studying like that old person. You're operating from worry, doubt, and fear. So even though you want more, you keep saying more, you're writing your goals, you're not doing that final step of shifting your consciousness, shifting your attitude, getting emotionally involved with the law of perpetual transmutation of energy that I talked about. See, what you're focused on all day long, what you speak about, what you feel is fear. And you're emanating fear out into the universe. And that fear is coming back to you as a boomerang by the law of cause and effect. And you're not acting and behaving like the person who's earning the income you want to earn or your relationship. You're coming from neediness. You're coming from scarcity. Scarcity, energy attracts like energy. That's the law. That's a law of vibration. You attract what vibration you're on. And what we have to understand, this is the problem that keeps people stuck. There's no other problem. See, so we've got to be definite with ourselves and say, no more fear. Listen, I have it. I'm aware of it. That's feedback of what I'm not thinking properly. Why would I let something outside of me put me in quicksand? That's because I'm giving my power away to the fear. I'm not understanding it. And remember this, fear isn't the problem. Fear is great feedback of what's going inside. Doubt is the problem. Worry and doubt is what creates the fear. So you knock out the fear by knocking out this worry and doubt first. The worry and doubt is old conditioning. So anytime you have worry and doubt, I want you to remind yourself, oh, that's old conditioning. That's the old me. And you don't focus on it. From this moment forward, you shift your attitude where you only focus on operating in the mental equivalence of the image of the person you would like to become, and you begin to act as that person in everything you do. You walk, you talk, you speak, you behave. You are constantly disciplining yourself and you auto-suggest your goal. You still do that, but you've got to behave like that person. You've got to surround yourself with the right mentors. You've got to learn from people who have world-class behaviors, and you pick their brain. You're in their energy. And what happens is when you're in their environment, you become just like the people you hang around. And this is what's going to release the frustration and is going to create the results. Now, results always tell the truth. Always. So we've got to stop sending ourselves a double binding message. We've got to stop saying, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life and then eat cake. We've got to say, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life and I'm going to operate with a health consciousness. So everything I do is when I say no to something, I'm improving my image around health. If I want more money, I'm focusing on my service. And I cannot accept lack and limitation in my life, no matter what the results tell me. Now, I'm telling you, we're getting tested that we want something badly enough. I really believe this. Napoleon Hill talked about that in Think and Grow Rich. You have to go to that other person that feels the discomfort and is comfortable being uncomfortable. That's how we're going to change it. But when the old program, that old outdated you, that easy, doesn't take any energy, that sabotaging you stays in control, nothing will change. Nothing will change. Now, I want you to understand how you make change is action right away. I didn't just say, create the mental image and see you later. I said, create the mental image and then now act as that person. You do it day one and then you do it day two. Day two is going to be better than day one. And then day 20 is going to be better than day 3. That's all you're going to see and that's all you're going to attract, but you're going to act like that person. This is what inspired action is. I don't want weak action. I want action with some energy behind it. You have access to all the power in the world. Take action. Go live. Have fun. Don't be rigid. Now, discipline is the key to action. I think you guys are going to really love this. Because if I can create discipline, anybody can. I was the most undisciplined person you could ever imagine. And now I have an enormous amount of discipline. And my mentor told me, I said, I always start and stop. He said, that's because you don't have the right direction. He said, are you willing to do what I tell you to do? I said, I will do it in the best of my ability. He said, that's not good enough. You need to commit to me. He said, I need a full commitment. And I said, you've got it. From that moment on, I never had a problem with discipline. You may think, that's not true. I promise you, I made a decision. When you make a decision, mountains move. When I made a decision that I was going to create a life of freedom, that meant something to me. I didn't just decide. I decided and I backed it up with faith and action. Now, there was a lot of days that I doubted it, but I kept deciding. I kept making every day, day one, because I already committed. See, when you commit to somebody else, there's great accountability there. There's supreme accountability there. That's why mentorship is so important. But the key about mentorship is to do exactly what the mentor tells you to do. See, a lot of people want to get mentored their way. Well, that's not the deal. You've got to surrender to the process of the mentor and do exactly what they tell you to do. If they tell you to get up at 5, get up at 5. If they tell you to do 3 to 6 goal achieving activities, do it. See, this is where the difference between delusion and result, and I mean significant results. I'm talking significant results. I'm telling you, there's people right now in their 20s who are going to be the biggest thought leaders in their 30s. There's people right now who are in their 50s who are going to discover their power and choose into their life once and for all, and they're going to be so grateful that they were sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they're going to live from 50 to 90 and change so many people's lives in whatever they're doing. See, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're sitting there right now and you're like, I'm too old, that's not true. That is not accurate. Every day is a gift. Every day you have just as much opportunity than anybody else. But now we build our discipline. Now think about this. What can you do with an unwavering level of discipline? I mean unwavering. How would your life look if you accepted and rejected on autopilot, where you automatize that. Your thoughts would change dramatically. Your image would change dramatically. What you would draw to you would change dramatically. What can you achieve? Imagine what's possible when you're disciplined. I will tell you, if you want to be a world-class performer and create world-class wealth, create world-class freedom, world-class health, world-class thinking, you have to build discipline. Now let's look at what discipline is. Discipline is a constant human awareness for the need for action. See, we get this awareness, I have to do this, then I act. A conscious act to implement that action, that's what discipline is. If our awareness and implementation occur at the same time, so I get an idea, I act on it, then we master discipline. When we procrastinate, then our mind is thinking for us. Then our mind is disciplining us. I'm telling you, 97% of the population right now are being disciplined by their mind. You know, I would have conversations with Bob, my mentor, and he'd say, 3% of the population or 97% of the income. I said, I don't like it. I don't accept that. And he said, I go, what do you think the reason is? He goes, discipline. He said, they conform. They conform to the masses. And I said, well, we've got to help people. And him and I one day sat there and I said, we're going to get the people we work with to break that 3%. Like, that is my mission. I do not want 3%. I want 100%. I want 100% of the clients to go get what they want. Well, all things are possible. So what are we accepting? Let's build a bigger idea. I don't want you to be just the 3%. I want you to be 0.1 of the 1%. That's what I want you to do, because imagine what impact you're going to make in your life. Now, remember this, if time passes between awareness and action, that is procrastination. I want you to look at you. Do you have a hard time acting? Are you one of those people who says, I have to sleep on it? Well, I promise you, you're not just sleeping on it, your dreams are dead. You're sleeping on your dream. You know what is right for you and what's not, because the essence of you is pure perfection. So the truth always resonates with the essence of who we are. See, how to avoid procrastination is this. You break through the walls that are keeping you confined in your comfort zone. So you say, I've got to take action right away. When I get an idea, I act. When I get an idea, I act. I do it now, do it now, do it now. And as you do that, you are going to change your life. You're going to change your self-esteem. You're going to change your attitude. You're going to change your discipline, and you're definitely going to change your opportunities. The world rewards the bold. It does not reward the people tiptoeing. It does not reward the people saying, I'll do it when this happens. You do it now. If you don't do it now, you lost the opportunity, then somebody else gained it. You have to seize the opportunity. Now, break down each barrier one at a time. Each barrier one at a time. Why? By developing perseverance. When you're persistent, everything changes. Everything changes. Your level of persistence is going to really reflect your identity, your level of belief in yourself. Now, I want you to think of you. Do I have persistence? Do I have that attitude where I don't lose enthusiasm when I get a setback? Be prepared for rejection. That's part of winning. Be prepared to lose. That's part of winning. You have to be willing. This is an attitude. You have to be willing to lose to win. The people who are not willing to lose are playing their life not to lose. They're playing it safe. They're not risking. They're risking more than they could imagine, which is risking significant freedom. If you want freedom, you've got to surround yourself with people who are free. If you want freedom, you've got to get this mind and get it at ultra world-class level, develop it. And as you do that, there's no overthinking. There's absolutely no overthinking. No overthinking is a waste of energy. It is an absolute waste of energy. And I don't want you to overthink at all. When you're overthinking, what's happening, you don't trust yourself. When you don't trust yourself, you're weakening yourself. In the beginning, you've got to trust yourself. Even if you fall, you're going to develop your relationship with your intuition. See, if you haven't been following your intuition is not going to keep guiding you. See, if you start listening, that voice is going to be louder and louder. Now, When you stop disciplining your thinking, it impacts everything. That means it impacts your actions, it impacts your results, and it impacts your philosophy and identity. This is why day one yesterday from the beginning, I said, when I got mentored, my mentor taught me, you have to understand that you have to change your discipline and you have to understand the laws of the universe. You do those two things, you're going to change your life. Now, let's look at this. Now, I want you to think about your want. I want you to really think about it. And you have the results. And the results, you're not going to let control you anymore. You've disciplined your mind. You say, listen, I am not going to do it. I am absolutely not going to do it. And you're only going to operate from your higher faculties. I don't even need you to work all 6 at once. I want you to focus on one. Focus on the one that you want to develop. That one will take you farther than you can imagine. Let's say you're going to focus on your imagination. You accept the idea. Your imagination takes you to wherever you build the image. And now you have detached from your 5 senses. When you've detached from your 5 senses, now you're open. You're using your higher faculties. Now that power is flowing in and through you, and you're saying, listen, Arash, I am following your advice. I am following the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning $1 million or more every year, and I love it. I'm getting better and better. That's the only image you put in your mind. You are focused on prosperity in this moment. And you are focused and you inundate it through repetition. You get emotionally involved over and over and over again. And that's going to turn into a desire. Now, once it's a desire, it's a done deal. Once it's a desire, it's a done deal. Now, we only desire what we want because desiring what we don't want works just as fast as what you do want. And it'll bring you just as much as what you don't want if you've turned your wants into focusing on what you don't want. And we want to change that. Now we got to operate with a significant goal. Now, your goal has to mean something. You've got to put energy into it. Everything is energy. You are energy. I am energy. Well, your goal is energy. And every time we breathe life into our goal, we visualize it. We act as that person. We make that extra phone call. We invest in ourselves. That is putting energy into your goal. And you want your goal so big, like a billboard. I want it so big in your mind, where all you focus on is your goal. When it's so big in your mind, you put so much attention on it, that's all you're going to think about. And what happens is anything that's not in harmony with the goal, you won't even give energy to. Now, in order to have a goal and develop and create the results, you have to have a purpose. Why do I want to achieve that goal? Everything we do, and I'm not talking about life purpose, I'm talking about your why with your goal. Your life purpose, you're going to discover on the way. You focus on why that I want to achieve the goal. When the why is big enough, you're not going to focus on the how. You're going to think about only opportunities, but it's not going to be the how in a negative way. I wonder how I'm going to do it. It's going to be, how can I do it? And then you must have a plan and be willing to change that plan. I told you this earlier. I change my plan over and over again because my mind will tell me, oh, shift it here. Or you need to have this person. You need to draw this person into your life. And then you must take action. This is the foundation of your goal, just of what you have to do with your goal. And you must be definite. You can't have a weak goal. It's got to be, I am committed to this. I've accepted this. I am willing to trade my life for my goal. That is what a goal is. We're trading our life for it. It is worthy of us. It is really building us. Now, when we're talking about goals from this moment on, you create from a place of having it, not having it. I want you to create from a place that I am worthy of this goal. This goal is worthy of me. It is absolutely worthy of me. I am worthy of the good that I desire, because you have to come from a state of worthiness. When you get to the point where you have it, that's the moment the universe will get out of the way. The universe knows you're out of the way, so it's not going to bring things in your way. It is going to draw everything you want to you. That is what worthiness is. Now, in order to achieve a goal, every day has to be day one. It's not one day I will do it. It's day one every day. Every day, today is my masterpiece. Today, I get to do my 3 to 6 goal achieving activities. Today, I get to live the impression of increase. Today, I get to stretch. Today, I get to learn one idea that's going to change my life. Now, there's 3 types of goals. There's an average goal. You've already done this. There's a good goal. You think it's possible. And there's the extraordinary goal. That's what we teach at Voss. Whatever your heart desires up here waiting for you. It came from the essence of you, from your want. Why do I keep telling you? Because I want you to claim it. I want you to accept it. When you accept it and you're willing to stretch, now you're going into the world-class energy. That goal is up here. That goal is so high and you're going to attract it. And there's only 3 things to master goal achieving. The goal achievement process is that you fuse with it. You make a decision, you auto-suggest, you imagine it, you become one with what you want. You match the mental equivalence of what you want by acting as that person, not just mentally, but physically. You create that visceral experience. Then you work on your identity-based behaviors one at a time. Maybe your identity-based behavior you're working on right now is your ability to sell. Maybe it is discipline. You're working on making discipline part of your identity. Maybe it's I'm going to focus on my standard. You're working on one identity-based behavior at a time. And then all you have to do is focus on 3 to 6 goal-achieving activities every day. Did you hear my word focus? So when you're doing it, but you're doing it with some swagger, you're doing that goal with some confidence. You're doing it like the person who's already achieved it. You're not doing it and saying, oh, I wonder how it's going to be. No, you go in and you act like that person. And eventually it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And your attitude is stronger. Your faith is stronger. Your belief is stronger. Why? Because that's who you are. Now let's look at this. This is so important that you understand this. You understand you have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious, and you have a body. Now, I want you to learn how to detach from your 5 senses. When you are attached to your 5 senses, the paradigm is going to beat you every time. See, our job is to be aware when the paradigm's in control, say, nope, I don't accept that. And you've got to be direct with it. You say, no, I've done it your way the whole time. Your 5 senses are only here for your physical benefit, period. Now, are you getting the results you want? That's the first question. Am I getting the results that I want? Okay, if not, I have to adjust my plan. I have to adjust my mindset. See, all you have to do is adjust your sails. And we tap into the higher faculty, the memory, the perception, your will, your imagination, your intuition, and your reasoning. Now, how do we do it? With the higher faculties are how you're going to achieve your goal. Those are your superpowers. Now, let's really understand when you're using the higher faculties, you're tapping into universal intelligence. That means the whole universe is going to come to your aid to help you. The higher faculties are in your conscious mind, and we let it. When we let it, it's done. I'm telling you, when you let it, you've opened up your subconscious to it, and you're going to get in the spirit of what you want. I told you, when I created freedom, I got in the spirit of what I wanted. And I want you to understand this. When you enter in the spirit of it, this is where you begin the creation process of creating the life you want. When you're in the spirit of it, you're only focusing on your dream. What did we say? We're only limited by weakness of attention. So now we're putting all our attention. When we're in love with something, it's always on our mind. Think about that first time you fell in love. That person was always on your mind. Well, I want you to fall in love with your goal. It's critical. When you're in love with it, you're going to harmonize on it with your attitude on a conscious, subconscious, and you'll see it in your results. Now let's look at it from frequency, because we're in the freedom frequency. Enter in the spirit of it. It is your goal. What did we just say? Fall in love with your goal. Now, when you fall in love with it, you're going to get on the energy of what you want. Everything is energy. It penetrates thought and space. And when you're focusing all your energy on what you want, you're matching the frequency of the reality that you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. What is Einstein saying? Everything happens by law. So get out of the way. Just think about what you want all day long. Behave like that person. Match the mental equivalence. As you do that, everything's going to change. Now, a frequency is a level of vibration. A frequency is a level of vibration. And there are an infinite number of frequencies. There's one where you can earn 10 million. There's one where you are in world-class health. There's one where you're constantly around positive people. There's some that you're in worry, doubt, and fear. There's all these frequencies. Now, your job is to understand, how do I get to the frequency? Because every frequency is connected to the one above and the one below. Everyone. Now, this is where you are right here. Take an honest look at where you are in your life. This is where you are. Now, you can know how you got there. All you have to do is go look at your past. You can look at your past behaviors, past circumstances. What we want to do is understand what you want, how you want to live. This freedom frequency is right here. Now, our job is to stay there. Now, how do we stay there? We've got to master the power 5 that we talked about yesterday: our decision, our discipline, our standard. You know, we are working on all of these, our image. And when you start working on understanding this, you're going to stay there. The moment your belief matches with any state, what did we say? Our belief matches the minute we give attention to it. So the moment your belief matches with any state, you fuse with it. And this union activates abundance. It activates what you're supposed to do to get it. It'll activate the action step. It activates the projection of its plots, plans, conditions, and circumstances. So that's essential. We don't think about what we don't want. This new state of conscious awareness becomes your home from which you view the world. And it is your workshop. If you are observant, you're going to start seeing the outside start changing to the model of the image of your mental equivalent. And if you notice your mental equivalent is still what you don't want, then you still got to do more interior work. You got to go inside. You've got to go stronger with some more focus, because your focus is going to increase the amplitude of vibration of the speed of what you're getting. Now, to move to a considerably higher frequency of thought, you have to accept that idea. You consent. You sell yourself on that idea. You are aware of the feelings that that new frequency represents. Even if you're feeling uncomfortable, that's a good thing. Do not resist it. Accept it. Even if you're feeling nauseous, accept it. You are on your way to a massive quantum leap. At the suggestion of a move, your program will instantly put up a royal battle. It is going to try to work through your 5 senses. The moment you start playing small, the paradigm beats you. This is the moment where your freedom is here, comfort is here. You're going to go to one or the other. Choose freedom every time. That takes courage. I told you yesterday, it takes courage to win. And it will try to rationalize. When you're rationalizing, when you're saying, I need to sleep on it, I promise you, your paradigm is beating you. You've got, at that moment, you say, nope, get out of here. I do not accept it. Once you take conscious control over the paradigm, remove and replace it, you're going to start seeing a world from your perception. You're going to see the world completely different than you've ever seen. And you're going to be getting on a frequency, the freedom frequency. You're going to be on a frequency of freedom that is going to be totally foreign to your 5 senses. And that's why you feel that uneasiness, just so you're aware of that. Now, when you do that, you are operating with the power of 5. You are mastering it. I'm telling you, you are mastering the power of 5. You're mastering your decision. You're mastering your discipline. You're mastering your attitude. You're mastering your standard, and you're creating a massive standard for yourself and a master image of yourself. Like, you have a world-class image here, and that's how you get to the frequency. And then you're going to achieve all these little goals in between. You're going to achieve these middle goals, and that's called freedom. And you're going to create a significant freedom. Now, in order to do this, I needed help. And I'm going to tell you, one idea changed my life, and it was the ability to make decisions. I told you there was a lot of one ideas. It was attitude. It was accepting an idea, but decision, nothing can happen without a decision. And we want to make an irrevocable, committed decision that I'm going to change my life. I'm going to absolutely change my life. You can't have a weak decision. It can't be a mediocre decision. It's got to be an irrevocable, committed decision. This I'm doing no matter what. See, decisions or lack of them are responsible for making or breaking everything you desire in your life. Remember, without desire, nothing's going to change. People who have become very proficient at making decisions without being influenced by the opinion of others are the same people whose annual incomes fall in the top income category. So ask yourself, this is from Hill, ask yourself, what type of decisions am I making? Am I hesitating? When you hesitate, lack in limitation. You've got to trust yourself. See, the essence of you is pure perfection. You have access to all the knowledge, all the power there ever was. So you want to make a decision within a millisecond. See, when I was working with my mentor, he said, Arash, if people don't make decisions within 30 seconds, they don't deserve to win. He said, they don't like hearing that. And he goes, I used to always tell them, I don't make the rules. I just play by them. See, you got to make decisions. The people who are winning, you'll see they make decisions right away. The people who lose are procrastinating. They're planning to plan. So we want to understand when you make decisions, not only is big prosperity coming into your life, big behaviors. When you earn big money, money is such a great goal because it's measurable, but it's such financial freedom is such a worthy goal because of what it makes of you. So you got to stop coming from your old story, that old program. Now, in order to have it, you have to master the law of compensation. The law of compensation clearly states the amount of money you earn will be an exact ratio for the need for what you do. Your ability to do it and the difficulty there will be in replacing you. See, we've got to ask ourselves, how well do I serve? See, when you focus on becoming a master at what you do, you're going to have so much prosperity into your life. I'm telling you, 80 to 90% of people's frustrations is because they don't serve at a high level. They're focused on internally. They're focused on themselves. What can I get? You've got to focus on what can I give? How can I serve? How can I help you get to where you want to go? How can I help you in whatever job you're in? How can you become more proficient? See, we've got to start developing our ability to understand people. See, our ability to do it first is we understand ourselves, then we understand people. Your ability to do it is practice your craft, practice your presentations 10,000 times. And then you're going to understand it's not the economy that's going to determine the next 5 years of my life. It's going to be my standard. It's going to be my ability to work in harmony with the law and work in harmony with the law of compensation. And when you work in harmony with the law of compensation, you're going to see so much abundance come into your life. And you're going to create so much freedom from a prosperity perspective. And in order to create that freedom of prosperity, you're creating freedom mentally. You're creating freedom in the relationships you have. You don't have these dream stealers around you anymore. So we want to understand that it takes one idea to change your life. Now, I'm going to give you a couple things we're doing at Voss Coaching. Now, we have a mentorship program as well. But the programs I want to tell you that I want to go over today are very significant. And this is where freedom is created. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, we have a program called the World Class Coach. Now, I've coached well over 100,000 people now. You know, I thought it was less, and we were looking back on it. It's well over 100,000. And how did I become a world-class coach? Well, I had to learn from the best to learn how to do it. And this isn't a certification program. That's not what this is. This is about developing people who are coaches. See, the coaching industry is now at $43 billion industry. There's more coaches than you could ever imagine. But most of the coaches are not earning a lot of money. They'll go get a certificate to say, oh, I can coach, but they're never taught how to brand themselves. They're never taught how to present. They're not taught how to build a world-class philosophy in their coaching business, how to create a world-class identity, how to sell, how to build a culture, how to build leadership in their coaching. And they're not taught on how to take somebody to where they want to go. I'm talking to the coach right now who is sitting there and they're earning very little, but they have such a servant heart. They don't understand it. It's not your fault. See, what we developed is a 16-week coaching program. It's really a 20-week because we're giving you 4 extra weeks. It's a 20-week coaching program because we're giving you 4 extra courses on marketing and branding at a high level on how to become a world-class coach. See, I believe there's a lot of coaches out there who have world-class in them. They have a world-class heart, and they just don't know where to find the people. They don't know how to build their business. They've never built a business. And this is what we teach in this program. So I always love the idea my mentor taught me. He goes, Arash, you and he goes, I did it because before you were alive. He said, Alfred Adler used to say, I fell in love with the idea that has used me. This idea has used me. The development of helping people has used me. In my opinion, this is the best industry in the world. And there's people right now who are not understanding how to help more people. And we're going to teach you how to serve at a world-class level. That's what the world-class coach program is. And we have a world-class wealth event. Now, I'm going to tell you this, world-class wealth, this event is for somebody who wants to create freedom like this, like literally in warp speed. We are going to take you by the hand, and it's going to be very few people. I think we only have 10 or 15 spots. We got a bigger room because we had more people who wanted to do it. But we are working with a small, intimate group of people, and we are going to work with them closely on how to create world-class wealth in their life. That means, what does that mean? That means how to create world-class behaviors, how to create world-class mindset, how to create world-class marketing, but how to build a culture, how to build your teams. If you have a company right now, is your business a hobby or is it a business? I want you to ask yourself that. Is it a hobby or is it a business? Can you get away from your business, or do you have a job and you're naming it a business? See, we're going to teach you how to create effortless success. We're going to teach you what ideas to implement. We're going to teach you how to sell at a world-class level, how to stop needing your presence there to earn money. World-class wealth, I'm telling you this, I'm not going to do it until next year after this one. And I'm telling you this right now, you've got to jump on this opportunity, because I'm going to work with you so closely. But this isn't just one of those events that we work with you and say, see you later. We are building in accountability afterwards. We're going to have built-in accountability for several months afterwards, because we want you to get it. We're giving away. We're going to work on your core values. We're going to work on your mission statement. We're going to be working on it's going to be a very action-oriented 3 days. And those are the two opportunities that really, I can tell you, that will really create massive jumps and massive freedom for you. Now, let's look at the characteristics of a world-class person. So if you want any of these, you've got to jump on these. I'm telling you right now, because how you create world-class is learn from world-class. And a world-class individual is an elite sales professional. Let's do these one at a time. They're an elite sales professional, their ability to sell. And if you're shy about your product or service, then you don't believe in what you're doing. We've got to build that foundation. We want you to market yourself. We want you, because that's more people you can help. See, I want you to help people all over the world. I don't want you to just help people that you're comfortable with. I want you to expand yourself. A world-class professional has a servant heart. They're always focusing on how they can help somebody that has nothing in terms of what they get back. They're a culture builder. Look at your culture. Does your team go through a wall for you? Do you know your team? Do you know what gets them to tick? Are you willing to get them to move where you give them soft love, medium love, and tough love? But that tough love, they love you for, because they know you're doing it with a loving energy. Are you developing leaders behind you? See, the only way you're building a culture is you've got a team of leaders. You'll know how well of a leader somebody is by the amount of leaders they have under them. Are you limiting yourself? Are you limiting the leaders under you because you're coming from scarcity? See, we want to teach you how to build a world-class culture. And we're definitely going to teach you how to build an amazing leader. Lead by example. Lead with a servant heart. Lead with fearlessness. See, if you're not fearless, your team is not going to be fearless. And if you're blaming your team, oh, you made a mistake. Your team is a reflection of you. I see too many people come to me and say, oh, my team's not doing this. No. It's always, or it comes from the top down. What type of lifestyle do you have? Do you have a world-class lifestyle? Are you going to these amazing places that you want to go? Are you doing what you want when you want to do? Do you have supreme belief in yourself? Because I'm going to get you to get supreme belief. How do you do that? You have to develop it. You're going to develop a prosperity consciousness where everything you think about is how you can. How can I serve? How can I solve a greater problem? and you're going to be an A+ performer. And the best part is you're going to surround yourself with a bunch of high thinkers that are so positive, and their attitude is so contagious. Are you getting help right now from A+ performers? Or is your environment a bunch of C- performers around you? There's no judgment, but you're not going to become an A+ performer serving with people that are going the other way, people who settle. Do you have an elite image of yourself? I'm talking elite. See, your image is going to allow you, with your income and impact is created by your image. You can never outperform it. Are you vulnerable? Are you willing to feel? Are you willing to work on what you feel? And are you inspirationally dissatisfied? Now, I'm going to show you, these are the characteristics, and I hope you're all of these already. But if you're not, in order to create world-class freedom, you have to become it. So let's look at this. Be so good at what you do that you become the standard in your industry. That's what our world-class coaches are doing. We are going to teach them to be so good. I talked to a client the other day. I said, you don't need to keep gathering more certifications. I said, all you're doing is gathering more information. I said, you need to start putting this into action. You need to learn how to build your culture in your business. See, your culture has a foundation. If it's weak, it's going to be a bad culture. If it's strong, you're constantly having people in your culture, your clients who are raving fans of you and are going to want to keep working with you to really go through a wall. I want you to become a standard in your industry at whatever you're doing. I want you to become a standard as a leader in your life, leader of your family. I want everyone to look at you and be like, that is somebody that I want to follow. Now, let's look at decision. Decision is very important. Let these lines once again represent levels of frequency. Now, I want you to look at this. Levels of frequency are levels of vibration are referred to as frequencies. Now, we think on frequencies. So we can't keep thinking down here of what we've always gotten if we're going to achieve our goal. This is where we have to make an irrevocable decision. See, right now, if you say, you know, Arash, I really want to work with you. I want to create world class, but I'll do this when this happens. You already lost. You already lost. You already gave everything to the outside. Because when you make a decision, your mind only focuses on how you can. See, if we're letting the results dictate how we decide, we are not letting the desire decide the decision. You're letting the programming decide it, and you're going to lose. This is what I see every day. This is the people who are losing are doing. When I was losing, that's what I was doing. See, your mind and thoughts are down here on this frequency. So we've got to raise it to what you want. So this is where you've got to say, no more screwing around. I'm only thinking about what I want. I have made a decision, and I have attached it to an accountability partner so they know, because the more accountable I am, the better chances I have to win. And I'm only focusing on what I want. When you make a committed decision and you follow it up with action and accountability, you're going to win. I'm telling you this right now. Think and act. Make yourself the mental equivalence of the person you want to become. It's not just think, you've got to act. It's not just act, you've got to think. You've got to do both. Think and act like the person you want to become. As you do that, you're going to win. And the only thing that matters is not how it's going to happen. Do I really want it? That one thing, do I really, really want? You do that, you're going to win. I'm telling you this. This is why successful people, like Bob told me, successful people make decisions so fast and they change them so slow. Make your decisions within a few seconds. That's why those who are always stay focused on their goals, you put your intention on attention and you have so much consistency, you're going to win. I'm telling you this right now. Your will is going to be so relentless. You're going to be fearless. You're going to have that standard and you're going to win. Now, one last time, so I get enough repetition of this. You have a want. You have a want. Freedom is your want. You can have it. You've got to accept it. I am accepting my want. I am accepting it with my imagination. I am owning it. I'm developing it with repetition. So I am going to step out and act. I'm going to get the right help. I'm going to come let Voss Coaching Co. help us. You're going to get in world-class wealth and really go in a deep dive. Go in 3 days for yourself. Invest in yourself to create the best years ahead for you. You're going to get into world-class coach and say, I'm done playing this like a hobby. I'm going to create a world-class business. And you accept that want and you go put it into action. You do that, you're going to win, period. Winning is an attitude. Winning is a characteristic. Winning is everything that you're inside of you that's dying to do, and you deserve it. Now, just remember, do it now. Like Waddle says, act now. There's never been a better time. And there will never be another time but now. Act now. Well, I wanted to give you everything I had. I really wanted to give you everything I had. I know this went longer, but to me, I didn't want to cut it short for you. Because any of these ideas, I know one idea changed my life. And I know that it could change yours. I will tell you, let us help you. If you're sitting there not where you want to go, let us help you. I would love to help you. In 90 days, you'll be blown away by where you'll be. All right, I'm going to turn it over to my good friend, Monica DeMarin. Monica, I will leave it to you, and it's been a pleasure, and I thank everyone for being here.
Awesome. Thanks so much. That was incredibly powerful, Arash. One of the things I want to share with everyone, my biggest takeaway was, he said, if you don't start getting to know who you are, gain the awareness of that, you'll never be free. And one of the best things that has ever happened to me was understanding me and letting go of my old story. I feel so free. Everybody wants to feel this way. That is freedom. Self-trust is the first secret to success and freedom. If you're feeling that you want to work with us, you want to be a part of what we're doing, you have to trust that feeling. It's tugging at your heart for a reason. That's your responsibility to take that action step. You have something unique to offer to this world. Each one of you guys listening to this, you have something that you can do really, really well. And the world deserves to see that. Your goal deserves to be born and created. You have to become the best at that. And I knew I couldn't do it on my own at the beginning. I knew I needed help. And you can see from today's lesson, and I still need help. I will continue to get mentorship right to the last days, because every time I do, I continue to grow. But from today's lesson, you can see freedom is not free. You must invest your time. You must invest money into yourself. You're spending time, you're spending money anyways. You might as well be spending it developing yourself with the right people in the right environment. And you have to be prepared to do things differently. Like if you want to change, you have to change. You have to start making some changes. So the exercise that Arash gave us during this lesson on money and grading ourselves, money loves speed. It loves circulation. It loves people who are not holding on to it tightly. How we spend our time, the second part to that is so sacred. So investing in yourself and investing time in yourself and money in yourself is going to be the best decision you ever make. It's going to speed up the process. And I got to tell you, on my end, I speak to all of our clients, and I'm so blessed to be able to do that. But the biggest feedback that we get from our clients, and our greatest strength, is helping people and developing their true passion, understanding it, bringing out that other version of them. That's the biggest feedback that we get. And they actually achieve the goals that they set out to do. They're knocking these goals out one at a time, one at a time. So just imagine having the specific direction and really operating from that limitless attitude. You're taking the lid off of your potential, and you're really operating from a limitless mind. And it's a permanent shift that you'll never go back to your old way, and whatever has been holding you back will fully be released. Now that is freedom. So I want to just go over a couple ways that Arash spoke about working with us. World-class coaches, again, it's not a certification program. It's over 20 weeks, and they're very, very powerful. You're going to develop the confidence of becoming a coach, or if you are a coach, we're going to upgrade your confidence. All of the sales and sales mindset. Now, just learning this alone, this is a proven system that works 100% of the time. The sales process that Arash has created is so close to my heart. Even just taking this just to learn how to sell you on you every day and how to sell your product, your ideas and services is so empowering. Your results would be blown away just by this. But we're going to go deeper. We're going to show you how to structure your programs, how to do marketing, branding, how to create world-class delivery, speaking, transferring your ideas, We fill in all these cracks. So if you're having a hard time not understanding what's going on in your business, if you're already a coach or want to become one, this is what's going to be the game changer for sure. You will become aware of everything that you don't know how to do. So the World Class Coaches program is for anyone who wants to do exactly what we're doing. Whether you're just starting out or you already have a business up and running, you want to take it to that next level. And World Class Wealth, it's so hard to explain to you the experience that you're going to feel and the impact that you're going to feel in that room. You're going to be walking into a wealth consciousness, and the emotional impact that you're going to feel, you'll never be the same. You know, everything is a frequency, everything is a vibration. We are going to show you, and you will feel the experience of jumping to that different frequency, and it's going to stay there. The accountability is built in afterwards. You are going to have implementation of world-class structure for you and your business, world-class leadership, understanding sales even there, world-class leverage yourself, like really get your life and your business in order to create that. It's so fulfilling to see the people who have already experienced working with us, how the results are changing at warp speed. So being in that room, that emotional impact will literally jolt you. Our clients' lives are changing every single day. We have people, just to give you an idea, their confidence is soaring. We have people that are experiencing better relationships. Fitness goals are being knocked out of the park as well. People running marathons that their doctors told them that they couldn't. They've overcome that. People are doing more business working with us in the first 3 months than they have in 3 years. People buying their dream homes that they've been dreaming about for 10, 15 years. They're living in that, they're experiencing it. And these are the effects of the mindset. That's freedom, right? It's not in the money, it's not in the things, it's who you become and the growth that you go after to experience that. So if this really speaks to you, I'll put my link, and my assistant Nicole will put my link in my calendar link. Book a call, we'll do a strategy call. I'm an absolute expert at designing the best program that will be right for you. We do offer different things as well that I can go over. So this is the part where you got to take that action if it resonates with you. And that's part of today's action steps and exercise to the lesson. But I just want to add on, the absolute best decision I ever made was to personally seek out and find Arash and get his mentorship. It took a lot of courage for me to do that. It really did. For me, it's probably my proudest moment, aside from my husband and kids. Like, my proudest moment was really having the courage to go out and hand him a letter that I written and asked for his mentorship. And my life has never been the same. And if I didn't do that, if I didn't take that shot on myself and I didn't take that bold action, I would probably still be stuck. So Arash is the most trusted directional leaders on mindset and change of behaviors out there, without a shadow of a doubt. Here at Voss, we teach you how to think properly. We teach you how to take the right action so you can knock out your goals very quickly. So for today's exercise, yes, of course, it's going to be making a decision on taking you out of your comfort zone that's going to help you move you closer to your goals. Okay. So my results really start to change when I really started getting out of my own way. I started making decisions, and not just being good at making decisions, phenomenal at making decisions. I started to trust myself more. But I want you to make one decision today that you have maybe been procrastinating on, that you know you need to do. Make one decision today that's going to take you closer to your goal. And I want you to post that, tag Arash, myself, and Mikey in that. We want to know what you're going to do. And the second part to today's lesson is going to be listening to attitude. We have an audio from Arash. It's 10 minutes long, and it's on attitude. Mikey's going to post that in the group for everyone to have. Changing your attitude is the difference between people who are winning and people who are losing in life. I have a good friend of mine who was recently let go. And he said to me flat out, he said, it's all going to come down to my attitude. I can sit here and feel sorry for myself and do nothing about it, or I can choose to see this as an opportunity and do something really great for myself and the people around me. That's an attitude. So when you're listening to this audio, what I want you to do is come listening from your goal, come listening from shifting what is possible for you. You're going to pick up different things when you hear that. Most of the time, when I look at attitude, most of the time your attitude needs to shift within yourself, how you view you and how you view the situation you're going through. A simple shift in your attitude can make all the difference in the world. It's so, so powerful. And that's it for today. Today was very powerful. I want to thank everyone for joining us as well. It's been so, so great these last 2 days. We're going to continue to keep these on board here for you. So continue to watch. Remember, repetition is key to this. Keep repeating these lessons, repeating the exercise as well. Take a deeper dive into that. And I'm looking forward to talking to the people who are looking at speaking to me. So Mikey, I'm going to hand it back over to you now.
All right. Thank you so much, Monica. This has been such an incredible day too. Arash was on fire. I was watching the chat and you guys were absolutely loving it. It was so good. And then of course, Monica wrapped everything up so beautifully with a bow. And one thing I want to add just to kind of top off what Monica just said is that you're not here to be entertained. You didn't sign up for this training and come and watch this almost 2-hour training today and 90 minutes yesterday to be entertained. If you wanted to be entertained, you'd probably go binge watch Yellowstone or something like that. You came here because you want new results. You want to create freedom, personal freedom, time freedom, financial freedom. So what you need to do next is exactly what Monica said. Take action, make a decision. Book a call with Monica. We would love to work with you at Voss Coaching Co. If you are watching this right now on Facebook, there's a link to book a call with Monica in the chat. I just put it there, as well as the attitude audio. If you're watching this on YouTube, once it gets posted, then we'll add that link into the description. All right. Thank you all so much. This has been an absolutely incredible 2-day training. The recordings will be up for 1 week. So we'll bring them down next week on Friday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.